everyone, welcome back to China Admissions channel with me Nadia, the admissions manager here at China Admissions. So we are finally entering a season for new semesters and congratulations once again for making it to China, and I hope that you enjoy your time and also your new adventures in China. However, moving to a new country for your studies is an exciting adventure, but also it comes with a fair share of challenges, especially when it comes to adjusting to new cultures in China. So today, I'm going to be talking about culture shock in China, what it is, and what to expect, and also some of my personal experiences with culture shock myself in China, and most importantly, how to deal with it as a new international student. So, what exactly is a culture shock? Well, according to the definition, culture shock is the feeling of disorientation and discomfort that you experience when you encounter a culture that is different from your own. And don't worry because it is completely normal and it happens to most people when they move to a new country. And in China, culture shock can stem from differences in languages, from social norms, differences in social norms, food, and also daily life practices. So let's get over now to some of the most common aspects of culture shock that you might experience in China. So the first one and foremost will be language barrier. That's one for sure, especially if you don't really speak the language, which is Mandarin Chinese, because Mandarin Chinese is the national language in mainland China, and it is the most widely spoken language in China. While English is taught at schools, but you might find that not everybody speaks it fluently, so this can make everyday tasks like ordering food or asking for direction challenging at first. So I also have an experience with language barrier because I think that's my main challenge when I first came to China years ago, because I don't really speak Chinese Mandarin at the time. I did some courses back in my home country, but then after I landed in China, I feel like, it's actually not enough because people there, they speak very fluent, obviously, and also they speak very, very fast. And then it is making me very, very frustrated for a long, long time just because I couldn't really connect with people. I couldn't understand what people are talking about, and it is making me very, very frustrated. The second common aspect of culture shock is about food and dining etiquette. Because Chinese cuisines, they are diverse and also delicious, but it can be quite different with what you're used to. And also, in terms of dining etiquettes, like using chopsticks or the importance of sharing dishes, these things might be new to you. It is completely different than what I found mostly sold in Chinese restaurant in Indonesia. So that this is also something that I'm a bit shocked at because the taste and flavor are very different. For the one in Indonesia, I think most of the Chinese food in Indonesia is like it's more like a southern style Chinese food. So food that you will often find in Guangdong area or maybe in Hong Kong region. So those type of food, and it's completely different than northern China's food or Dongpei's food. So it was also quite shocking for me. But don't worry because I think you'll get used to it. You will need adjustments in the beginning, but don't worry because there are also numerous type of foods that you can access in the city as well. And then the third aspect is about social norms and behavior. So you might notice different social customs, for example, the concept of saving face in China, and also for Chinese people, they have a high level of respect for elders or for people with higher position, higher authority. And then, or even they also have the habit of people staring at foreigners out of curiosity. The next thing is still related to it. It's about personal space. In many parts of China, especially in larger cities, personal space can be more limited than what you might be used to with people standing closer together in public spaces. I think that's mainly also because China has so many people, so many citizens. So it's often that it happens like that. And it might also relate that to the habit of some people staring at foreigners out of curiosity. And then you might feel that people are violating your personal space because of that. I mean, it happens to me too, especially when I speak my native language, my mother language, Bahasa Indonesia, in public places, in like MRTs or maybe in bus. some people, they stare at me, like literally stare at me, or maybe they try to listen to my conversation and like wondering what language is this. But yeah, I think that happens out of curiosity. They don't mean anything harm to it. It's just because they are curious about this person with different language or style or skin color. And then the last aspect is also about public transportation. So public transportation in China, they are very, very well connected, but they're also very busy at the same time, especially if you are staying in big cities. So it is efficient because everything is very well connected, but it can be crowded and it can be tend to be like a fast paced thingy, which might feel overwhelming at first for some people, especially in big cities like Beijing or Shanghai, because I feel like Beijing or Shanghai are just the two cities that never sleeps. So everything is like, very busy, very fast paced. And then you have to like also adapt to it. You have to also, you know, like be fast as well and be efficient as well, because of that's just how the ambience of the city is. Yeah, so that could feel a bit overwhelming at first. Maybe in your country, you're not used to like riding public transportation, or maybe the public transportation is not as crowded as it is in China. So that's why this could be a bit overwhelming at first, but don't worry, after some time, you will also get used to it. So, yeah, basically, experiencing culture shock, it's totally normal because it's all part of the learning process. It's all part of the adapting process to the new environment. I will also share you some practical tips to help you deal with culture shock and also to make your transition to life in China smoother and better. So my first tip and my top tip would be to learn basic Mandarin or to learn the language. I think it's very, very important for you to learn the language because I realized that, after some time, after I improve my Chinese skills a little bit, I feel like my life in China is getting much more enjoyable because I finally understand what people around me are saying. If you want to do like an online classes, you can consider taking the online classes offered by BLCU, Beijing Language and Culture University, because they have like a group classes, or they also have like a one-on-one classes, which can be more dedicated according to your learning goals. Just keep practicing. Even if you make mistakes, don't worry about it. People will understand because you are a learner of the language itself. So just keep practicing and push yourself so you can keep practicing and also improving your Chinese language skills. And then the second one is stay open-minded. I think this is very, very important. And often people, they don't realize how important it is to just be open-minded in a new place. Because when you approach new experience with curiosity rather than judgment, it will make your experience a lot better. You just need to remember that things are just different, not better or worse. And so you can embrace the adventure. You can also then embrace the diversity, and you can also embrace the difference in cultures better. The third one is to build a support network. So you can connect with other international students and also local Chinese students, because they can also offer you support, advice, and friendship, and making your adjustment period easier. Most universities, they also have clubs and student organizations for international students that you can join. So this could be a way for you to connect with other international students and also other local Chinese students. And then the next steps would be to take care of your well-being, because adjusting to a new environment, it can be mentally and physically exhausting. I think that's really true. I remember, I think I was so mentally exhausted that I feel so fed up. I feel so like just so overwhelmed with all the changes and all the differences. You need to make sure that you also rest, eat well, and also exercise. Do not hesitate to seek support from your university or from your fellow friends if you're feeling overwhelmed. Also, another important one is to stay connected with home. While it is important to immerse yourself in a new culture, in a new environment in China, but staying in touch with family and friends back home, it can also provide you emotional support and comfort. And then the last one is to explore and engage. So the more you explore your surroundings and engage with local culture, the more you will understand and appreciate it. So try local food. You can also attend festivals and learn about Chinese customs and traditions. I think that helps a lot In my case, I travel a lot. I may not travel outside of town a lot, but I travel within Beijing a lot. So, just some final thoughts. Remember, culture shock is not forever. It's just a temporary phase and it's a natural part of adapting to a new environment. So, the more you embrace the experience and learn about the culture, the more rewarding your time in China will be. It's all just about finding the balance between maintaining your own identity and also appreciating the new culture around you. So that's it for today's video. I hope this helps you navigate culture shock in China and make the most of your time as an international student in China. And if you have any questions or maybe you want to share your experience dealing with culture shock, feel free to share them in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tips on studying abroad. Thank you for watching. Welcome to China and see you in the next video. Bye!